So I've been creating content specifically on Instagram for over a decade at this point. And for years, I just blindly followed whatever the guru's advice was at the time. They would say, post static images, post carousels, post more reels. And so I would do all of those things and I would try to compete with the sea of influencers that honestly over time was rising. Competition was getting steeper and I just felt like I was getting nowhere. And it wasn't until recently that I started to really critically think, how can I stand out above the sea of people in my niches and create content that no one's really ever seen before, or content that is going to not only get me massively seen in front of thousands of new eyeballs every single day, but also content that is going to convert to sales, to my own products, to affiliate products, and really just help build authority and trust for my own self and my brand within a red sea of people trying to do the same thing. And so in today's video, I'm going to share with you guys my 3-step system on how to actually build influence, the same system that garnered over 30,000 new followers with just 3 reels. It's absolutely insane. And those 3 reels specifically didn't only just grow my following, it made my husband and I's business over $63,000 in sales to our own products. I promise you the strategy in today's video is something that I've never seen on the internet. I'm no inventor or genius, but I ended up taking the skills that have amassed me over 19 million views on YouTube. I transferred them to Instagram and I basically got the same result. But if you guys are new here, my name is Haley and I not only help content creators amass a large following specifically on Instagram and YouTube, I really help them take their followers and convert them to selling their own products to build a business that they actually own, not a business on the back of sponsorships, which I did as a full-time YouTuber years ago, not on the back of YouTube AdSense, which can fluctuate, a legit business that is able to bring freedom and peace of mind for your family. I have 4 little kids, we homeschool them together, and we're able to do this because of content creation and selling our own products. So if that interests you, go ahead and like this video, subscribe, and let's go ahead and get into the strategy. So the first thing we're going to talk about when it comes to strategizing how to blow up is you need to be posting Instagram reels. I know you're like, wow, this is already like a piece of advice I've heard 1,000 times over. We're already going to assume that you need to be posting Instagram reels because that is what the algorithm rewards. So now that we have that out of the way, the missing piece, and honestly, the biggest thing that you need to understand if you want to absolutely crush your competition and rise above the pack is that you need to have a winning idea, an idea so unique and so fresh that people haven't seen it before. And so I'm going to teach you guys a framework for how to come up with ideas for your reels, because a lot of you guys are just mimicking competitors. And when people have seen a what I eat in a day to lose weight, if you're a fitness influencer 100 times over, they're just going to gloss over yours. It's not going to go viral and you're not going to provide a new opportunity for people to really want to get that dopamine hit from. So there's actually a skill to choosing the right topics. And most people honestly just never learn how to choose a topic correctly for YouTube, let alone Instagram. So get out your notepad or your notes app in your iPhone, because these are the rules that you need to abide by if you want to grow an account like I have. Okay, so rule number 1 is you are not allowed to make up an idea out of your own head and just run with it. I know that makes me sound like I think you're dumb. I do not think that, okay? I abide by these rules when I want to grow. Whenever I feel like just connecting with my audience and doing whatever I creatively feel like, then I will do that. But like I said, I have 4 kids to feed. I want to turn this into a business. I need eyeballs. This isn't like a hobby passion project. This is for my brand. And with every step I take in my business, I want my best chances of growing a brand. And so that my time is not spent in vain. The reason why I don't encourage people to just make up ideas off the top of their head, like as if they had a notebook and were like, what do I want to talk about? Like, let's say you teach people how to lose weight and you're like, okay, I'm going to do a what I eat in a day. I see some people doing that. I could talk about how to lose weight with walking or how to hula hoop while losing weight. I don't want you guys to do that simply because there is already a success path lined out for you on Instagram. And all you have to do is content research to validate the topics that people are interested in. It's a simple matter of supply and demand. And it really is the same exact process I use to going viral on YouTube. And that is you want to choose ideas that have a low supply. So those are typically more trending ideas, ideas that haven't been done before, novel perspectives or different ways of looking at things. And that has a low supply on Instagram with obviously a high demand. But the demand for these ideas, which I'll show you in a minute how to find ideas, but they haven't been met yet. And so that when people come across your reel in specific, they're like, whoa, this is a new perspective. I've never seen this being done in this way, or I've never seen someone create content with this style or in this way, or with this tonality or with this framework. And so you are the first. So I use YouTube as a base for finding ideas. Remember, I don't come up with my own. And the reason why I like like YouTube for looking at ideas for Instagram is because it's searchable. Okay, you can look at the actual numbers and the view counts of people's videos and associated subscriber counts to people's channels. And you can bring ideas that are trending on YouTube over to Instagram, and they'll immediately go viral because it's a novel and new perspective, and the trend just hasn't hit Instagram yet. So let me give you guys a good example for how I did this for the first time that I went viral with this method. Okay, so I basically am taking topics that are trending and going viral on YouTube and basically making mini YouTube videos on Instagram and immediately going viral. Okay, so the first thing that I did is I did look up different ideas within my niche. For the niche that we are in over on our other account, American Dream Revival, it is like, you know, traditional family values, parenting, things about homeschooling, along those lines. And so I looked up how to get your kids to read. I went down a rabbit hole of screen-free living. So I thought, okay, my family is screen-free. We don't give our kids iPads, or we really have like one house phone that we use for social media. We don't watch TV together. And so we're kind of trying to go the Amish route, not really. And so I thought I'll do a video on how to be a screen-free family. And the way that I validated this idea and this topic, and the way that I knew it was a winner for Instagram, was because on YouTube, they had a really small sub count, but the video was going viral. So I've taught this before in different videos. I'll link them down below if you want to know how to go viral on YouTube. But basically, this is what I've coined in my programs as the golden nugget method. You're trying to find small creators with tiny audiences, so really small subscriber counts, and their videos are blowing up on YouTube. And so you want to mimic those topics. So step 2 is my framework for how to actually create a reel that not only blows up your account, but also models the raving fan base that you can get with YouTube, because naturally there's longer form videos on there, so the people are more invested, and taking that concept and bringing it over to Instagram. So a lot of people nowadays, and I think this is like the biggest mistake that people are making, is they think that they can model the success and the clout and the authority and honestly the influence of YouTubers, and they think they can do that over on Instagram with much less effort. So they think, okay, I'll just create a bunch of reels and they'll be sloppy. They won't be high quality. They won't look like Haley's YouTube video because I have an old iPhone, or they'll just be 3 seconds, like I said, of me walking down the street with like text over it. And then I'll sell my whatever, like insert anything, $37 ebook, $997 course, $10,000 coaching package, whatever. And they think that they'll make money. Or better yet, they don't want to sell their own stuff. They think, okay, sponsors will just pay me because I have a lot of views, or I'll get a lot of affiliate sales. I assure you, it is not that easy. In order to stand out, you need to, in my experience, 10x the effort of other people. And you might be like, I have a lot of kids, I have a job, I don't have this much time. But the kicker is you don't have to put out a reel every single day in order to have this authority and build an audience of raving fans that'll buy whatever you put out and build like a 7-figure business like my husband and I have with a small following. And because of that, the way that you create your reels, or specifically your videos on Instagram, have to be like mini YouTube videos. So I just want to assure you don't need a fancy camera like the one I have right now. We've filmed all of our reels, almost all of them, with an iPhone. But in order to influence, if you have great visuals and great audio, you need to understand how to story sell, which is a framework that we teach a lot of our students. And I'm going to teach you guys how to story sell by writing an amazing script that uses psychology to get people to like you, and not only to like you, but to follow you to the ends of the earth, like I said, to basically bang down your door in order for them to pay you, which is an actual reality we've experienced time and time over. And so with this script, you're going to empathize, you're going to show proof, you're going to give value, show authority, and get them to be obsessed with you, get them to really, really like you. It's a mini system that honestly should be in every single YouTube video, every single story set on Instagram, every single reel, because if you can do all of those things, empathize with people, get them to like you, and show your authority, which is very important, you can sell out all of your products, you can sell your affiliate links, and you'll have raving fans for life. And so here's how you do it. The first thing you're going to do is empathize with a relatable hook. Okay, so you're going to start with a sentence or a question that resonates with your audience. For instance, are there any other parents out there that are sick of parks? Okay, so this is one of the reels that recently went viral on our account. Again, I got the idea from YouTube about hiking with kids. This is in a parenting niche that again parallels my niche of family and traditional values, right? And that is hike more with your kids, get your kids outside, get them off screens, that whole, genre of groupthink over there with the homeschool weirdos, all right? So my potential audience and also my current audience on Instagram needs to know immediately that we know what they're going through, okay? That we are just like them and we came out the other side, hence the authority piece if you're trying to sell things and not just get views for fun. You need to almost take the ideas out of their heads, take the words out of their mouths, take the things that they're going through and put words to them unlike anyone's ever done before. And the first way that you do it is with a question. So the second element after you've asked a really punchy, sometimes polarizing question is now you're going to relate to them and share a personal story. So you want to do this first, because if you just come out being like, if you're going through this, you should do this, this, and this, it doesn't humanize you. And people buy from people, they don't buy from brands. And so you want to share your personality, all the things that make you tick, all the things that you hate, all the things that you love, and your opinions, because nobody wants to follow someone that's vanilla, okay? How do you do that though? What type of personal story do you share and how do you share it? So the number one thing that you want to do right in the beginning is you want to get people to like you. I know that's like so vain and sounds gross, but it's just the truth, okay? They're not going to buy it from you and they're not going to follow you if they don't like you as a person. So you want to share a story to create a connection with people and empathize with them. With your story, the goal is that you want them to think immediately like, hey, me too, like I'm going through that, or I went through that, I totally relate. So the way that we did this in the first reel that we went viral on how we hate parks and how you should hike with your kids instead is we said this, okay, as an example. We're grateful to have so many amazing places to be able to entertain our kids, but let's be real. If we never had to look at a slide again, I'd probably be good. All right. They're all thinking that, and it humanizes us. The next step is you want to shift into authority mode. So it's very important that you shift into this mode, because if you don't, people again are not going to want to buy from you. They're not going to really want to follow you as much because you have nothing to offer. And so you want to be an authority on one topic, even if you feel like you suck at everything, which that has been me. And I wasn't ever trying to be an authority for the first like 5 years of me being a YouTuber. People kind of just followed what I did in my life. Take it from me. It was hard for me to sell product. Okay. It was hard for me to get views because people didn't really learn much from me. It was hard for me to get sponsors because I didn't get views. It was impossible for me to sell my own products and a whole host of other issues. So you need to understand that in order to make more money and get more followers, you have to be an authority on something within your industry. That doesn't mean you need credentials or like a degree. It just means that you need to have an opinion and share the process of going through something. So this is how you do it. So you're now going to reveal to your audience what the big problem is. And this is something that they're all facing. And when you do this, you want to be talking in first person. And I could make a whole like slew of videos on this, but your tonality, which if you don't know what that is, it's basically like how your tone fluctuates. It needs to sound as if you're talking to a best friend. And that is how your personality is going to shine. That is something that is very hard for me to teach because you have to have, hours and hours and hours of experience in front of a camera or experience recording your voice. Because the first time that you read your script through, you're going to suck and it's going to sound like a robot, but you need to do it again and again and again and again and again. And so the reels that I put out may seem really easy, but I've been a YouTuber for like 10 years. So just know that and know that you can get better, but you can't just have a flat monotone sounding voice in your voiceover for this reel because it's just, again, your personality is not going to shine. You're going to defeat the whole purpose of being an authority. You have to sound confident, sound relatable, sound funny, expressive, insert all the great characteristics about you, but that needs to shine through your tonality. And so right now we're talking about the big problem and you need to do this in first person. So then we said, after our fourth kid, my wife and I turned to each other and asked ourselves, is this really what parenting is going to look like for the next decade? Okay, so notice how I said that. I didn't say, after my fourth kid, my wife and I turned to each other and asked ourselves, is this really what parenting is going to look like for the next decade? Nobody wants to follow that, okay? Nobody wants to follow like AI. They don't. They want to follow someone that is worthy of a follow, someone that has personality and that entertains them. There has to be an entertaining element. So the big problem that parents are specifically facing in this example is the fact that they're going to be going to parks for like 10 years and they don't enjoy it. Their kids get sick of it. So how did we discover the solution to be this big problem? Further storytelling. You're going to give a ton of value with the solution and actually solve their problem. And you're not just going to wallow in it. If you're giving advice on social media, this needs to sound like a new novel perspective, something that they've never seen before. You got to be like a little mini inventor. I know it's exhausting. It's going to be something that really shifts their mindset, being like, whoa, she has a new perspective or she has a new solution. She has something that I've never seen before. And basically it's a new opportunity for people. So ask yourself this, okay? If every time a new audience member or even an existing audience member comes in contact with your content, you want them to think, wow, this person is giving me a new piece of information. information, it is absolutely gold. Do you think that they're going to watch every other piece of content? And if you do this and every other piece of content piece, they're going to be a follower for life and they're going to trust you. They're going to love you. They're going to see you as an authority. But the key here is you have to present new information, new opportunities, not the same thing that has been shoved down their throat for years. So to further the example for the hiking reel, right? So we didn't just stop going on hikes. We hiked at least once a week as a family for an entire year. So now the people are thinking, oh my gosh, I think that I should go like explore nature with my kids. Like screw parks. We're sick of those. We're all like fatigued. I need to go look at like state parks. I need to go to actually, do what they did and try maybe like looking into hiking as a family. You don't want to stop there because that's not enough. Okay. It doesn't end on a punchy note. It doesn't give them actionable things to do. You want to further show proof and really reveal the transformation and the outcome, which again establishes yourself as an authority even further. And most importantly, you guys, through this reel, at the end of it, you want to visually paint the picture that they can have the transformation too. So we said, our kids went from whiny Klingons to independent explorers who grew their mental state, challenged themselves physically, and learned to love God's nature through this process. And at the very end, we're not going to cover this today. That's a whole separate video, is how to convert these people to paying people in your membership, to paying course students, or to paying clients. Okay. So that is by creating a many chat strategy, which I'll do in another video, with a free opt-in. I'll link the reel below that I'm using as an example, but you'll basically give a call to action at the end, comment the word hike, and we'll send you our free guide on XYZ. And then they go through your many chat and email funnel. Okay. But like I said, and like I've been mentioning, a nice script is not enough in and of itself to go viral. You need to visually capture their attention on top of it. So the third and final piece is actually filming the reel, okay? I think a lot of people assume that what worked on Instagram back in 2019 and 2020 is the same thing that's going to work today to create a cult-like following that most YouTubers have. I can tell you firsthand that we work with thousands of creators, and the content creators that have large Instagram or TikTok followings, I'm talking like 500,000 followers, far undersell content creators that are filming content on YouTube and podcasts. Okay. And that is just because it's really hard to connect with people in like 5-second reels. But there's a specific type of filming that I've seen performs best on Instagram reels through myself and also through all of our students. And so let me break down what that looks like. So there's 3 core aspects to creating quality visual content. And that is, it needs to grab their attention immediately. It needs to inspire them, and it needs to demonstrate the transformation and actively show the outcome visually. So you're not only stimulating them auditorily, I think I'm saying that word right, you're also doing it visually. So we like to create what we call story reels to make this happen. So you're basically creating a little movie with your footage. And the best way we've seen this happen is with B-roll footage. B-roll footage is basically footage that you film on your iPhone or on your camera if you have one, it doesn't matter, up and down vertically with high quality. So you have to have like one of the latest versions of the iPhone, in my opinion. It can't look grainy and too dark or too bright, blown out. You want it to show the real you and what you're talking about. And the goal with grabbing highly converting B-roll that gets people to watch the whole thing is that you want to demonstrate what you're talking about while you're talking about it. So that you want to really make them say like, what is she doing? What is she saying? And I have to see how this ends. And just as a side note, in our experience, you don't have to film word for word, like what is being said. If you're obviously like a fitness influencer, you can show what you're talking about, but it doesn't have to be matching what you're saying to the visuals on screen exactly. So we then record our voiceover with a high quality mic and overlay that either in the Instagram app, but I honestly just use iMovie because it's so much easier than having carpal tunnel in my thumbs for like an hour and a half for editing this reel, okay? But at the end of the day, every single reel with the empathy, with the authority, with the story selling, the goal with your reels and your content and the way that you're going to blow up before the end of the year is you want people to come away from your reels with, wow, this person that I'm watching, you guys, content creators, I aspire to be like them because I see how they live, I see how they are, and that is the lifestyle I want to buy into. So even if they don't want to be exactly like you, there is some element of your lifestyle that you are demonstrating, that you're story selling, that you are or visually showing them on camera that they want to emulate because they're choosing to learn and get information from you. So obviously the next natural question is, well, how many reels of these do I have to do every single week? That is up to you and how long it takes you to do these. To be frank and to be very transparent, these are very time consuming. I have 4 kids, I homeschool and run a business. So I can't put out a lot of these, but like I said, 3 reels. I mean, I don't remember how many followers. I'll put on screen, I'll do the math, like how many followers I got, but thousands and thousands and thousands of followers. Crazy things happen when you just level up the effort that you put into your content. Like I said, you'll stand out above the rest. And the best part is you can make a lot of money from it. I know that sounds greedy, whatever, but no, I am a business owner. And again, I have a family to support. So I'll do the whole like how you turn these followers into paying customers in another video. If you guys want that, let me know. But that's pretty much it for what I would do to blow up my Instagram account. At minimum, I would post 1 a week because you'll see they do take a while. It is absolutely worth it and it will transform your authority and presence on social media if you create reels in this way. But if you guys want the actual steps on how to turn these eyeballs, these new followers into paying customers through your coaching program or through your courses, we have a free 5-day challenge. It's 5 hours long or more with like bonus sections with like live coaching that we've recorded and put in there. Grab it down below and that will really reveal exactly how we like do the whole backend system. But that is pretty much it for this video. Subscribe if you're new and I'll see you in my next one. Bye guys.